da mora biti izvajanje aktivnosti za dosego ciljev, ki bodo postavljeni v prihodnosti, okrepljeno in močno vključeno v druge sektorske politike in delovanje družbe kot celote. Mobilizirati je treba več virov za ohranjanje biodiverzitete povsod, v razvitih državah in v državah v razvoju. Evropska unija zagotavlja veliko financiranja za ohranjanje biodiverzitete v državah v razvoju, treba pa bo iti nasproti zahtevam po obsežnejšem financiranju. Ministri smo se strinjali, da morajo biti napori za ohranjanje biodiverzitete in boj proti podnebnim spremembam skupni in povezani. Slovenija je v Evropi vroča točka biotske raznovrstnosti, saj imamo največji del nacionalnega ozemlja v omrežju Evropske unije Natura 2000 in biotska raznovrstnost je ena od prednostnih področij slovenskega predsedovanja. Ministri smo razpravljali tudi o ključnih izzivih pri skupnem okrepljenem varstvu opraševalcev in vzpostavitvi okvira za monitoring opraševalcev na ravni Evropske unije. Komisar Sinkevičius je namreč predstavil poročilo o napredku izvajanja pobude EU za opraševalce. Slovenija kot pobudnica Svetovnega dneva čebel namenja ohranjanju opraševalcev, vključno s prostoživečimi, veliko pozornosti. Ministri smo zaskrbljeni zaradi upada prostoživečih opraševalcev in posledic tega na biotsko raznovrstnost in ekosistemske storitve opraševalcev na našo družbo. Ministri smo izrazili pripravljenost za okrepitev in prizadevanj za varstvo prostoživečih opraševalcev, prav tako spremljanju njihovega stanja z ustreznimi aktivnostmi za varstvo njihovih habitatov in za povečanje ozaveščenosti družbe v celoti za usklajeno delovanje. Zagotavljam, da Evropska unija še naprej pozivala k nujnemu ukrepanju in se odločno prevzela vodilno vlogo za varstvo in obnovo narave doma in na tujem.
Hvala, minister. Besedo predajam Sinkevičiusu, komisarju. Izvolite.
Thank you very much and good afternoon to everyone, dear ladies and gentlemen. Of course, thank you very much for joining us today. And let me also thank Minister Vizjak for hosting this very useful meeting and for putting biodiversity in the spotlight at the beginning of the presidency. And I take it as a very positive sign for the next 6 months. As noted, there were 2 major points of discussions this morning. We began with discussion about preparation for the 15th conference of the parties under the Biodiversity Convention in October, which, as you may have heard, will now take place in 2 phases. We welcome the fact that there is now clarity on the schedule of COP15, ensuring an inclusive and transparent process while keeping the political momentum with the high-level opening. Nature is in a very poor state, and the process of deterioration is accelerating. At the same time, we heavily rely on nature for our survival. Thus, we need urgent transformative action, so achieving a very ambitious post-2020 framework is a top-level priority for the Commission. We need a Paris-style moment for biodiversity. In our discussions with ministers, I stressed a number of very positive elements in the preliminary draft of the post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework that was published last week, such as, for example, the target to protect at least 30% of our lands and 30% of our seas by 2030. But I also noted areas that need to be strengthened to achieve a net positive outcome for biodiversity and higher level of ambition for stopping extinctions, because we need to hold this tenfold decrease long before 2050. We also need high ambition for restoration, as bringing only 20% of degraded land and sea under restoration is not sufficient. I'm also looking for stronger wording on sustainable use, notably in agriculture, fisheries and forestry, and a precise target to encourage agroecology and other biodiversity-friendly practices. I would also like to see the term nature-based solutions back in the text. I also think we should refer more firmly to the need to mainstream biodiversity and integrate the value of nature across all our policies and economic sectors. One of the many reasons for protecting biodiversity is the link with climate mitigation, and nature-based solutions are a hugely important addition to our work on reducing greenhouse gas emissions. We are As EU, we will make consistently these points to our international partners ahead of the biodiversity COP so that we can achieve an ambitious global biodiversity framework. We had very interesting exchange on the EU action on protection of pollinators. This is urgent as the alarming decline of pollinators continues. By that, we threaten not just ecosystem function, but our own well-being. There is some good progress with significant advances in our knowledge and action plans for the most threatened species, and we are doing a good job in engaging society. But there is still a lot to do on addressing the causes of this decline, stopping habitat loss and tackling drivers like pesticide use. We have started to find more evidence on existing gaps and consult stakeholders. These consultations will feed into a possible revision of the EU Pollinators Initiative. We will consult a broad range of stakeholders on the next steps, and we will weigh our options. I'm very reassured that so many ministers are on board to take action on reversing the decline of pollinators. And I think that's extremely positive. Thank you very much.
Hvala lepa, gospod komisar. Tako sledijo vprašanja. Najprej bomo dali možnost vam, spoštovani novinarji tukaj v dvorani, še prej pa nekaj kratkih informacij. Torej, novinarji, ki nas spremljate na spletni platformi, se prijavite k zastavljanju vprašanj tako, da dvignete roko, pritisnete jo v meniju. Na začetku se prosim predstavite z imenom, medijem in državo, iz katere prihajate, in prosim, da imate prižgane kamere. Mikrofone imejte izklopljene, dokler ne dobite besede. Vsak novinar naj zastavi največ 2 vprašanji. In za novinarje v dvorani velja seveda podobno, torej zastavite vprašanja pri mikrofonih, 2 mikrofona sta v dvorani, vsak na eni strani, in se tudi predstavite z imenom in seveda medijem, iz katerega prihajate. In tako daje možnost vam tukaj v dvorani. Izvolite. Pogledamo na splet, če se je kdo prijavil. Na spletu tudi še ni nobene prijave. Želi morda kdo zastaviti vprašanje? Potem konferenco zaključujemo. Hvala lepa in prijetno popoldne.
You are clear. Okay, hvala lepa. Evo, to kar odneste, da bom jaz nakupičil teh map.
No, I guess we are looking for a year, but definitely we'll check, but I think we have a year for a year. Thank you very much.
This is quite close here.
Extended invitation.
Yes.
Thank you. Perfect. This is what I like the most. There is no question.
First time?
Yes, it's the first time.
Couldn't take it.